I've been thinking about one of our favorite verses, Philippians 4:13, and how it speaks to our current situation right now. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We love to think about how this verse speaks to the exciting areas of our life, whether that's passing a test or nailing our part in a play, winning a football game. We love those ideas with this verse. And of course, anytime we do any of those things, it's by the strength that God gives us because He's gifted us for those things. But when we step back and think of Paul the Apostle as he writes this verse, he's stuck in house arrest. He's wondering, where's my next meal coming from? Will I ever get to see the people that I love and care about again? And will I even make it out of this prison alive? Will I be released before I die? When we think about that, it changes our perspective on this verse. Paul's situation was bleak. He had physical, emotional, spiritual needs at that moment. And as he reflected on those needs, he said, I know how to be okay whether I have a little or a lot. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now, our needs right now are real. I feel them. I know that you feel them right now. Some of us have physical needs that we're worried about. How will my job or my parents' job survive with the economy shut down right now? We all have emotional needs right now as we are in isolation. So many of our relationships have been cut off, and we don't get that physical affection and presence of just a hug or a high five or a handshake, and we need that in our lives. And hopefully you feel the spiritual need right now. How have you been personally engaged in your spiritual life over the last 4 months? Have you been in the Word and in prayer? Have you been able to stay connected to your church, whether that's online or whether that's in person? We miss the opportunity to live out the one another's of Scripture. The Bible tells us to love one another, to serve one another, to pray for one another, confess to one another, share with, encourage, and sing to one another. Our spiritual health depends on others, and in so many ways, that's limited. How much longer can you find hope in house arrest? If this season continues, will you make it? I hope that we can say the same thing that Paul does right now. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Paul gives us hope by reminding us God gives us everything we need in life. So even in this season, we can find contentment and hope in Him because God has met our needs.